Hello, it's Jack, and welcome back to another episode of What Are We Doing Here? This is Diorama Builder by Virtual Art Studios. Languages are in English and Portuguese. Came out in November 2020. It's about just under €2.50 on Steam. So it's a cheap little game, and I'll just get into what it's all about. It's going to be a very very quick review. But there is a good music soundtrack to it, but I've turned it off because there's a chance it might get copyright infringement, and I don't want to do that. So I've turned off the music, but it is quite a funky little soundtrack written specifically for the game. You're in a bedroom, obviously some sort of, I wouldn't say it's a kid's bedroom, but it's a bedroom, maybe a kid's bed, I don't know. I don't think this is actually aimed at, children or kids, to be fair. And the reason I'm saying that is that some of the dioramas that we're going to build, and I'll get into that shortly, these are the dioramas that are available. There's six of them. You've got World War II, and you've got also a crime scene, which maybe not that appropriate for the younger generation. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, basically there's an options over here. You can click on these posts up here and it'll take you to the Steam page of the other games that Virtual Art Studios have released. This is early access, and seeing as it's early access, considering it was out in 2020, no major updates as far as I'm aware, especially in the dioramas. I'm assuming that these slots here will be for additional dioramas as and when they're released. And again, it's cheap as chips. But let me get into the crux of the game. Basically, you need to build a diorama. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. So let's pick, for example, the Old West here, and it gives you, okay, how many pieces there are. This is one of the lowest ones, so it's Old West, 240 pieces, and you can see they go up to 455 pieces on the Merry Christmas. Now, it's very very basic, and it's very much like a casual game. You start with basically this tabletop here, and you've got to build up uh, the diorama based on all the pieces that you've got. You can change the excuse me, got a frog in my throat. You can change the levels up here. So when I say levels, it's more like layers. So you can go to the actual level you're supposed to be working on, and it shows you a shadow of all the bits and pieces you need to put in. Or you can go to all the layer that shows everything that you need to put in. Now, obviously, you've got to put some things in before you put other things in, if you know what I mean. Like you can't put, the windows in up here until you've got the wall and everything in. So let's just go back to the actual level, and then what you need to do is find all these bits and pieces in these different categories. So, for example, you've got some rocks and stuff here. So, assuming they're going to be under ornaments, for example. So here we've got some pillars we need to find, or whatever they are. It looks like it may be this one. No, it gives you a big boom. It's not that. Uh, so you start placing all the bits and pieces on, and it's pretty, pretty straightforward. It's very, very simplistic in how it does it. Gives you a little ping to know that you've actually put the bit in the right place and everything else. Uh, you can zoom in and out to some degree. It's not too bad, and you can also spin it around using, the right mouse button. So in terms of movement and everything, getting into the nitty gritties of it's okay. You can also use the what do you call it, the WADS and all that keys as well to move up and down and get a different viewpoint on it. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty straightforward, and it's not really, there's not too much in it. Obviously, you get a big bum. You don't get it in the right place. You would have thought that would have been in the right place, but it's actually picking the wheel. So I've got to come round here and drop it there instead. Looks like a wheel. That's not a wheel, obviously. It does look like a wheel. So it's not as straightforward as you would think it would be, because you've got to find the exact pieces based on the silhouette or the shadow here. And as you build it up, obviously you get to put in the extra bits and pieces as well. Now you might think, well, all the bits down here, they're not here. I don't see them in the ornaments section, and you don't at this point know really if this is the bank or the saloon unless you go to here, which is the all objects. You can see that's obviously the bank over there. This kind of looks like the saloon, and it is. So you could also then go to the actual level. I don't know why it starts you on this level here, to be fair. Because you don't seem to be able to move to a different level. Because if I want to start putting like the saloon stuff in here, uh, which is not actually showing me anywhere about the saloon for some reason. I've got the carriage and all the other bits and pieces. So yeah, you work through this and you start putting all the bits in. And where actually is the salon? I've got the bank. Close that one down. Ornament. Oh, it's here. Here we go. So, for example, if I want to start to build the salon up, which is over here, I can see I need some floor pieces. So, pretty straightforward, I guess. That's obviously going to go there. Yeah, and you just build it up, bit by bit. Now, there is a bit more to it than this once you've completed the a diorama per se. But again, it's how can I say? It's a casual game, like I said. It is extremely basic. There's only 6 dioramas, but for the price of what is it? Under, under €3, I think. I think it's €2, 39 or something. It's actually not bad. I'm not sure about the play value. I mean, once you've done all 6 dioramas, I mean, what else is there to do? So if you want to fork out, let's say €2 and 40 for probably about a few hours of gameplay, then so be it. Uh, yeah, but let me just crack on and finish this one, and I'll show you what the end results look like, and then you can make up your own mind about it. Just coming back real quick, I said before, there's certain things you can't place until you place the first bit. So this cactus, for example, you've got to place this base bit here, then the cactus itself, and then you've got to put these little arms on the cactus, and then the other bits and pieces as well. So, in that sense, you can't really, screw things up too much. But again, like I said, pretty basic, but yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back shortly. A couple of other nice touches. When you put these windows in, you can then put the lights in behind the windows, which, yeah, nice touch. And as you can see, now I've got quite a little bit done on this one. Oh, I can't seem to get that one in for some reason. I don't know why. There we go. It's looking quite decent, isn't it? It's actually starting to become something that is quite aesthetically pleasing, as they say, I think. Some bits are not always that obvious of where they go, and some of it's trial and error. But again, I mean, there's only limited pieces in the game, so I mean, it's not like rocket science to do it. And obviously, barrels and things like this, I can't see them in the salon bit, so I'm going to have to go back to, I'm assuming, here we go, back to ornaments, you see, so I can place these in there. Da, da, da. And then I get to see that those rings that I thought were the wheels before are actually the rings for these barrels down here. Not sure why they're not going on. Oh, so you've got to actually get it actually selected. Which again, okay, you've got to zoom in a little bit. Adds a little bit more to the I guess fun, if you can call it that, of building it up. Anyway, let me get a bit more done, and I'll be right back. Okay, another bit of a quirky bit. You see, I can't put any, at least I can't see any more things I can put onto this. Oh, I can in here, look, on the level I'm actually on, as in the layer I'm looking at. Let me just put these in. See how it wasn't showing me all these bits before, but now it is. But it's also, I think, prompting you to complete all the bits you can see first. I don't know if you need to be fair. You probably don't, but it might help a little bit. But yeah, so now I'm actually starting to build the carriage up, and again, it's not looking too bad, is it? Not looking too shabby at all. Okay, so now I've done the bank. Some points well, nice points I think to notice is when you put this door frame in, you've actually lots of different parts you have to put inside that, like the actual physical wooden door frame, and then the doors themselves. But another nice touch, which I think is quite uh, touching, if you like, in terms of the effects and everything. You see, now I've built the bank up, you can actually see inside the bank. So it's a full 360, 3D model as such. So if I go to ornaments now, you can see now that okay, I found the gold, which is down here. Pretty straightforward. I've got a little something here that I need to put in. So let's just whack that in there. And then you can see, okay, now I need to add some money in there. Oh, obviously not that money. Didn't like that at all, did it? Didn't like that at all. Another gold bag of loot up there. Some more gold down here, I guess. And then a safe door. Okay. Now, I think you can see where this is going when you've actually completed it. Obviously, a lot of these items are hidden, so there's some animation as such. Again, though, it's quite a nice touch. quite detailed. So even though when it's completed, you're still going to be able to pan around and look at all the nice detailing within each of the buildings as well. Anyway, I just thought it was a nice touch. Okay, another small point. When you're building, items that are maybe behind the other buildings, you've got to really pan around. Oops, not that one. You have to pan around so that you can actually see what you're supposed to be doing. So from here, and then spin it around so that you can get all the different angles. Sometimes it's better to go overhead so you can actually see where all the bits are. It's not always that obvious, but again, I guess that's part of the charm. Okay, so now it's actually completed. It says you've completed the diorama. Now this diorama will enter the interaction mode. And I think this is the reward, if you like, for getting everything completed. So just to give you a brief idea of what you can do. See, you can, which is someone's having a pee, obviously. hmm You can also turn it to night or day, which I think is a really nice touch. Uh, okay, that's nice. And you can kind of, get the idea of what's going on. And I think this is really the really nice touch about it all. Uh, oh, bit basic. Oh look, jumping sack of money. And then I think finally you've got the yeah. So you get the idea. Yeah, it's a cute little game. I think cute's the right word to use for this. And obviously, not obviously, but when you come out of this and then go back to the main room again, you can actually go and reset this. So if you wanted to do it again, you could just go over to the options and then reset the whole diorama again. So on dioramas, you can just reset all the pieces again, so you haven't done it if you wanted to. To be fair, I mean, I've probably done this now, well, once initially to do the review, and once to do this video. So, you know, but again, well, that's it. Nice and short. So if that floats your boat, if you think that looks, something that you could get into for a few euros, then by all means go and get it on Steam. From my perspective, a Jack's review, if you like. I think it's well worth the money. Not that much playability after you've completed everything, but if they add a couple more, dioramas to it, it's a nice, casual, quirky little game. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Drop me a comment, drop me a sub. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And Jack is out.